Hey, welcome. Today we're going to talk about something that's absolutely crucial for any organization: how to build a strategic plan that actually lasts. Not just something that looks good on a PowerPoint slide, but a strategy that's built on a rock solid foundation, something that's really baked into the DNA of who you are. So let's dive in. So let me just start by asking you this: is your strategic plan built on sand? I mean, really think about it. It's such a critical question because, let's be honest, we've all seen plans that look amazing at first, but then just crumble the moment they face any real pressure. And you know why that happens? It's usually because they're completely disconnected from the organization's core identity. That lack of a deep, stable foundation, well, it's pretty much a recipe for disaster. So in today's explainer, we're actually going to build that foundation, step by step. First up, we'll get into why your organization's past matters so much. Then we're gonna roll up our sleeves and I'll walk you through how to uncover your own unique story. After that, we'll connect the dots from that history to what's happening right now. And finally, we'll pull it all together to show you how to construct a strategic foundation that's built to last. Okay, let's kick things off with our first section: why your past matters. I want you to think about your organization's history not as some dusty old book on a shelf, but as its core DNA. It's literally the blueprint that explains everything your organization is today and everything it has the potential to become tomorrow. And this brings us to a fundamental truth. To plan for the future, you absolutely must first understand the past. Now, I know that can sound a little counterintuitive, right? Like, why are we looking backward when we're trying to move forward? Well, think about it. Without understanding the journey, the wins, the struggles, the big decisions that shaped you, any plan you make for the future is really just a shot in the dark. This leads us right to this key idea of organizational heritage. So what is that exactly? Well, it's the special mix of your unique history, your key achievements, and your positioning in the world. When you put all those pieces together, they form the very reason, the rationale for why your organization even exists. And getting a handle on this heritage, that's a real starting point for any meaningful strategic planning. All right, so now that we get the what and the why, let's get into the how. Our next section is all about uncovering your story. And I gotta say, I love this idea of becoming a kind of corporate archaeologist, digging into the past to find these incredible treasures that are going to shape your future. So, how do you actually do this corporate archaeology? Well, it really boils down to three core activities. First, you have to examine the history, the whole story, warts and all. Second, you document the specific achievements, those key milestones. And third, you take all that history and you use it to take a really hard, honest look at where you stand today, your current positioning. It's a simple framework, but it is incredibly powerful. A fantastic way to document your achievements is to literally map out your milestones on a timeline. Just ask the basic questions. When were we founded? What was our first really big product or success? When did we expand into a key new market? When you lay it all out like this, it stops being just a list of boring facts and it transforms into a really compelling story about your journey. Okay, so we've dug up the past. Now we get to what I think is the most critical part of this whole process: connecting that tradition with modern relevance. Because, let's face it, history is pretty useless if it just stays in the past. The whole point is to make it work for us, right here, right now. This quote from our source material just nails it. Strategic planning must be rooted in both tradition and adaptability. A great strategy isn't just about honoring where you came from, and it's not about just blindly chasing the latest trend either. The magic happens at the intersection of both. It's all about being rooted, but also being ready to grow. I want you to picture it like a balancing act. On one side of the scale, you've got your tradition. That's your core values, your whole reason for being, the historical strengths you've built up over time. And on the other side, you've got adaptability. That's your relevance today, your current position in the market, and what the future is going to demand from you. A truly powerful strategy finds its strength right there in the middle, drawing from both sides of that scale. And this leads to a tough question, but a really necessary one that you have to ask yourself. Looking at your heritage and then looking at the world today, how relevant are your core functions right now? Seriously, going through that tough, reflective process is what separates a static plan that just sits on a shelf from a dynamic, living strategy that can actually evolve. And all of that reflection leads us perfectly into our final section: building your strategic foundation. This is it. This is where all that archaeological work really pays off. because you're about to turn all those reflections into a clear, solid rationale for your future. So, after all that, what do you actually get? Well, the outcome is a profoundly stronger strategy. When you do this work, you establish a crystal clear reason for why you exist. You ensure that you are relevant in your market. You literally build adaptability into your organization's DNA. And maybe most importantly, you build that rock-solid foundation for whatever the future throws at you. And here's the real big takeaway. When you build your strategy this way, it stops being just another corporate document. It becomes a living, breathing extension of your organization's unique story. It's a strategy that feels authentic, it acts with real power, and it is undeniably 100% yours. And that brings us to our final thought. Every great strategy really does start with a great story. So, I'll leave you with this question. What is your organization's origin story? It's time to pick up that shovel and start digging. Thanks so much for joining us.